Okay, so I want to take this opportunity to show you the advantages of an airbrush in terms of light and shadow when you're working with white and black. In other words, this is shadow and this is white. And you'll notice that when I move my hand over, like see how, like really look at it, like where my shadow is, like that's not white, that's gray, right? Isn't it? That's white, this is black, and there's gray, see? And this is one of the fundamentals that is advantageous to learn when we're painting any scale model, because it adds the illusion of depth and scale to a miniature. And I'll give you an example here with just a sphere and what you can do with an airbrush. You can do a lot of blending with a traditional brush and water, like wet on wet, and oil painting with transparency and so on. But this is really difficult to achieve without an airbrush, and this is why an airbrush is to your advantage when you're painting light and shadow, like in any color, okay? Okay, so notice how this is a two-dimensional surface, paper, but look at how just a circle with an airbrush with darker shadow here and then lighter here, how it makes it look three-dimensional, like it's a sphere, with just a quick pass of the airbrush, right? So if you learn to understand this principle when you paint a scale model, you'll increase the quality and look of the model. Like this is what creates the pop factor, okay? And that is the advantage of an airbrush that just comes eventually with practice. You know, it's just something that you learn to do. Like if you really thin your paint, okay, so in this case, this is Tamiya, and you can see it's actually not as thin as it can be, but the thinner it is, the nicer the line that you can do, see? And this is just a fat needle tip. This is like I bought this airbrush like 26, 27 years ago. It was one of the many I had in my kit, but it was my go-to airbrush, you know. And I still use it today, and it hasn't worn out yet, but I've only shot isopropyl alcohol and Tamiya acrylic through it, so it hasn't hurt the seals, and it's always self-cleaning when you use an IPA. But the thinner the paint and the higher the pressure, and with a tight trigger, you can get thin lines like this, see? Or you can get wide lines like that. And you can get in really close as well, okay?